Hello everybody, I know that some people found yesterday's task of working with your negative numbers quite tricky, so this is just a little video to kind of guide you through that using sort of simpler numbers to work with, and hopefully it will make today's task a lot easier if you watch this. We'll try and keep it as quick as possible, but here we go. So the first thing to do is to not worry about the fact that yesterday's task was tricky, because it can be hard to get your head round the fact that you're going below zero and then the numbers sort of go higher as you go lower. That can be quite a confusing thing to get your head round to start with, so don't worry about that. So today we're going to have a wee look at sort of slightly different examples just now, but still using negative numbers in the same way, and then we'll move it on to money again. So what we will do is we will have a wee look at a thermometer first, because obviously thermometers do go below zero as well. So if we were at this point here, and it can go all the way down to this point here. So the first thing to be able to do is obviously realise what point it's at first. So obviously temperature is at arrow pointing to. It should be easy enough for you because you can see just looking at it that it is in fact on degrees. If we move on though, that's a really easy type of question. What can sometimes be trickier is working out where the temperature will end up. So if the temperature was at the 2 degrees to start with, and then it goes all the way down to 4 degrees, how many degrees has that dropped? So there's a couple of ways you could work out how many degrees that is in between here and into here. One way is you could take your time and actually just count them all up, count through all the little steps. Or what you could just be thinking about is, well, I know that it's 2 steps to 0 from there, and it's 4 steps from 0 down to there. So 2 plus 4 give you the answer of 6 degrees. With that in mind, have a look at this one, see if you can get an answer in your head. What is the gap between these two? See if you can do it as quick as you can in your head, and then we'll check the answer. Hopefully you got your 14 degrees in, because obviously 7 down to 0 is 7, and then 0 down to 7 is 7, so 7 plus 7. It can work the other way about as well though, so it could have started at -5 and gone all the way up to 4 degrees. So what would that gap be this time? Let's see if you can work that one out. I'll give you a couple of seconds to do that. Would in fact 9 degrees, because obviously 5 up to 0 again would be your 5, and then up to 4, so 5 plus 4 give you your 9 degrees. And the types, this brings us on to the types of question we were doing yesterday. So I was giving you a starting point with the money, and then you had to work out how far below zero that had gone. So we can do the same type of question still using the thermometer on the left here. What we'll do just now is we'll have a look at the question that I've made up. So the temperature was 6 degrees on Saturday afternoon. It dropped by 8 degrees at night time. So what was the new temperature? So it goes from here, it drops by 8 degrees down to some point down here. Now, straight off, I can see that this number is a positive number. This number is higher than that number, so I know that it's going to go into my minuses. So I know for a fact that it's going to go below 0. So one way that I can do it is I can just simply count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could literally count down to the -2 there. One thing you might notice about the fact that the -2 is there, is that the difference between 6 and 8 is 2. So obviously there are not 2 digits between 6 and 8. So you could just be thinking about the fact, well, what's the difference between 8 and 6? The difference between 8 and 6 is 2. So if I started at 6 and went below 0, it must go 2 below. So your answer would be -2. With that in mind, I wonder if you could use that same strategy with the next question. So the next question, we're back onto money again. The temperature was just to give you a wee guide on how to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is have a look about Katie has started at £50 in her bank account. She spends 70 and goes into her overdraft. What is her new balance? So obviously 70 is higher than 50, so it's definitely going to go below the 0 mark. And what you could be doing is you could just count the £10 up till you get to some point until you've counted £70. That could take you a little while. So what would be quicker would be to just think, right, what is the difference between 70 and 50? So if you were to subtract 50 away from 70, what's 70 take away 50? Whatever that answer is will be how high in minuses it will go, how low in minuses it will go, I should really say. So have a wee think about that just now, and then I'll show you the answer. Hopefully you worked out that it would become, her overdraft would be into minus 20, or her new balance I should say would be minus 20, because the difference is 20, so if you subtracted 70 off, she would go into that £20. Right, same again then. So this time though, she starts at £70, she starts her way up here, now she spends £100. What's her new balance? So think about it, what's the difference between £70 and £100, because that's going to put below the zero mark. What's that difference? And that'll tell you how far in minuses she goes. Hopefully you've worked out that she would go into minus 30. She'd go as low as minus 30 into her balance, because obviously 70 up to 100 is £30, and that's how far into her overdraft she would go. That's exactly how our questions will look today. So you do have a chili challenge that looks a bit like this today. So have a look at all the columns, choose which one you think looks sort of challenging. Try not to do the one that you think, oh, I could just fly through that in no time. Try and pick one you think that you might need to put some thought into, and then choose that one, go with that one. I hope it goes okay for you today. If you need anything at all, know where to get me. I'll be more than happy to help you out however I can. Good luck.